Hey guys, welcome back. Trickster here, and we are back playing Everlasting Summer. So, we ran. Ran with the last of our strength. Like those who run for their precious lives. Like a doomed person knowing that there is no hope to save his life, will still fight the inevitable and his own fate. I barely managed to close the heavy metal door behind me. I have no idea how deep this bomb shelter is, or if it's able to withstand a nuclear blast. But we have no other place to hide. She gripped my hand tightly. Don't be afraid. The beds to the ceiling were falling, the walls were shaking. I was prepared for the worst. But death is the kind of thing that you can't ever be prepared for. But suddenly complete silence fell. It rang even louder than the explosions. Maybe it was time to say goodbye. She was whimpering. I wanted to comfort her somehow, but I realized there was nothing I could do. Yes. You know, a horrible bang almost split my eardrums. It seems like I'm under a piece of collapsed ceiling, but I don't feel any pain. All I want to do is not let her go. What's going on? Am I actually dead? I woke up in a cold sweat, short of breath and gasping for air. It did make some time to come to my senses. It was a dream. It was just a dream. My questioning mind, however, refused to believe it. But who was that girl with me? I don't even want to let go of her hand so desperately. Suddenly, I couldn't recall her at all. The clock was showing a few minutes past 10. I slowly came to my senses as reality started to take its claim on my mind, and my stomach foully growled. All right, war is war, but lunch should be served in due time. It turned out that Olga wasn't here. She must have decided to not wake me up. Well, thanks go out to our camp leader for this. After yesterday's adventures, I had to have rest. Last night remained a blurry memory, which I really didn't want to think about. It's now more important to find something to eat and to wash myself. Exactly, because a pioneer must always be clean and tidy. Though I would agree with this principle even if I wasn't a pioneer. As a matter of fact, I'm not. On the way to wash stands, I met Electronic. He started to wave his hands and ran to me. Good morning. Thank you for finding Shurik. Without him, I don't even... It's nothing. I was a bit embarrassed. No, really, don't be so shy. The country must be proud of its heroes. And what about Shurik? How did he look this morning? Is he alright? After yesterday's craziness, I thought such a question was completely valid. Yes, absolutely. The only thing is that he can't seem to remember anything. Can't he? I wasn't surprised at all. He says that he went to the abandoned camp yesterday and then woke up in his bed this morning. I mean, he remembers nothing between those two events. I see. Alright then. You missed breakfast, right? Come to our club, we'll feed you. I have something special. Electronic smiled in a conspiratorial way. Thanks, I'll come. Probably. I had to wash myself first anyway. We'll be waiting. He waved at me and left to carry out his own business. There was nobody near the washstands. The water turned out surprisingly warm today. It's been warmed up already, I guess. Having my face washed, I realized that it wouldn't be easy to wash the rest of my body here. Maybe I should go to the showers. But since there's nobody here, I turned the tap in such a way that the water streamed parallel to the ground and started taking off my clothes. What if somebody sees me? Well, I'll rinse and dry my mouth quickly and put on my clothes. The water, which seemed to be warm on my hands and face, felt bone-chillingly cold on my body. The whole washing process took no longer than 10 seconds, and I started to wipe myself quickly afterwards. But I didn't manage to finish anyway. There were voices coming from the direction of the footpaths. The only solution came to my mind in a split second. I got on my clothes and dashed to the bushes. A moment later, Alyssa and Newland appeared near the washstands. You could have done it by yourself. Why did you bring me here? Is it a big deal for you? Fine, let me. I peered at them and noticed that they were both covered in red paint. What a surprise. I wondered how they managed that. Alyssa opened the valve and started to rub Alyssa's back. Take off your bra. What if somebody sees us? Is there anything to see? She grinned. Okay, just be quick. It was true that there wasn't much to look at, but even so, I stared at the girls narrowly. It was a pity that they were standing with their backs to me. A minute later, Alyssa managed to wash off all the paint. done. Thanks. You're welcome. Alyssa replied lazily. Listen, let me try yours. She pointed at Alyssa's bra. It won't fit you for sure. Well, I'd like to try anyway. But here, there's nobody here, right? Ilana looked my way and smiled archingly. I was absolutely sure she couldn't see me in these bushes, but enough with this nonsense. Ilana wasn't listening to her anymore. She grabbed Alyssa's bra with the dexterous move instead. Now I had to confess. I had something to look at. I watched the two girls chase one another around the washroom with bated breath. Alyssa covered her breast with her hands, so I could barely see anything at all. I leaned forward and stumbled over a stone, falling out of the bushes. Alyssa and Ilana stood frozen, staring at me. I tried to cover my nudity with my guilty face. The taboo lasted a few seconds, then Alyssa took her shirt and somehow put it over her in an instant. You! Her face had gone from red to purple. It looked like she was going to explode in a nuclear blast any second. The only thing I wanted to do was disintegrate into atoms and get as far from the epicenter as possible. He was sitting there the whole time, so she noticed me then. You! And I accidentally, if you know what I mean. Alyssa rushed at me. Covering my butt with one hand and holding my clothes in the other, I ran into the woods. It seemed like the best solution to me at the time, as showing up naked in the middle of the camp accompanied by two screaming girls was not a good idea. I ran without looking back, and stopped a few minutes later to catch my breath. It seemed like there was no pursuit, so I managed to save myself, at the cost of lacerated, scratched, and bleeding feet, as I had no time to put on my boots. I sat in the tree stump inside. Sometime later, having dressed already, I left the forest. I need to decide what to do next. My feet are hurting, so I should go straight to the infirmary. But on the other hand, my stomach isn't going to wait either. Maybe I should accept Electronic's invitation, or head to his canteen and hope of finding something to eat there. My feet are bleeding. We are going to the infirmary. I always took good care of my health, and even better care of the times when something starts to hurt badly. So without hesitation, I made my way to the infirmary. But right before the door, I stopped as if some mysterious force was holding me. I had absolutely no desire to face the camp nurse without the urgent need. On the other hand, I almost did a great deed yesterday defending the infirmary. So, any sense she owed me, I took heart and opened the door. Hi, Pioneer. Hello. I'm sorry that I was so late yesterday. It wasn't a problem at all. Why have you come here? Are you sick? She smiled slyly. Well, I got my feet a bit... You got a bit what? My feet. I gave a stupid answer. Oh, okay, show me. I sat on the bench and took off my boots. How did you manage that? I better keep silent about what happened near the washstands. Well, Okay, never mind. Wait a second. She rummaged in the drawer and pulled out a big red pill with a cross-shaped notch in the vial. And what is that for? I was disturbed to the size of the pill and its strange shape. They are broken in halves usually, not in quarters. This is to make the amputation of your leg unnecessary. What? Nothing, don't be afraid. Pioneer. You'll take it, and it'll be alright. And this pill, what? Why does it look like that? That's for patients who refuse to take medication periodically. We screw it into them with a screwdriver then. I didn't dare ask where they were being screwed in actually. Now try to bear it a bit. She took a big pack of cotton wool, wrapped a bud, and then applied plenty of iodine to it. I braced myself for the torments of hell. Hey! I moaned quietly, but my trust in this method of disinfection was much higher than the odd pill, so I had to withstand the burning. Now it's done. I put on my shoes and tried to walk. My feet were still hurting, but the sharp pain was gone. Thank you. Don't mention it. Drop in any time, Pioneer. I said goodbye and left the infirmary. My health problem was solved. It's the right time to eat now. The day had just started, and I've gone through so many things already. But I did it now, and now I have legit grounds to fill myself up. Today, I wasn't the last one, so I could choose the free table. Lunch included pea soup and mashed potatoes with fish. It was a major disappointment, to me as I don't eat fish in any form, hence I'll get fewer calories than usual. Soon Slavia and Lena came to my table. Can we? She smiled nicely. Eh? Yeah, sure. I stood up and pulled out a chair for her. Please. I was in an excellent mood in that moment. Enjoy your meal. Saying that, Lena began staring at me and continued for some time, and after realizing how odd she looked, I switched to her plate. You too. Do you have any plans for today, Simeon? No? I gave her an honest answer. I indeed had no plans. Except for searching for answers, that was more like a global goal. Do you want to take a boat ride to the island with us? The island? Well, I think I've seen it from the pier. For what? Olga asked us to gather some strawberries. There are lots of strawberries there, and they're so delicious. I can imagine the taste without even eating it, just by the look on Slavia's face. Strawberries. What are those for? I don't know, but it's indeed a great idea. Well, indeed it is. Moreover, I haven't been to the island yet. Yeah, sure. More answers. Within minutes, we were already standing at the pier. Well, here's the boat. Hang on, I'll go and fetch the paddles now. I was left face to face with Lena. Do you like strawberries? Well, not really, but they are tasty. Lena smiled. What? You don't like them, but they're tasty? You don't make sense, woman. Lena smiled. I see. I didn't know what to say next. How to continue this conversation? If Slavia didn't come back, we'd probably sit here until evening without saying a word. Here you go. She handed me a pair of hefty paddles. Yeah, thanks. We got in the boat, I untied it and pushed off in the shore and tried to start paddling. And where exactly are we heading to? Right there. She pointed to her finger at the island. The island is named the closest one. I wonder what captain gave it such an original name. Well, the island is indeed close to the shore. Aye, aye, Captain. If only I'd known what was waiting for me ahead. I wasn't an experienced oarsman. I'd row a boat just once or twice in my entire life. It was less than half a mile up to the island, but we were making our way in zigzags thanks to my skills. By approximately the middle of the trip, my arms hurt so badly that I dropped the paddles to get some rest. Well, aren't there any strawberries anywhere else? I mean, in more accessible places. But the tastiest ones grow there. Slavia gave me a puzzled look. Is it hard for you to row alone? Then, unlike Slavia, understood everything straight away. Oh, it's nothing. Anyway, I couldn't let a fragile girl help me. The rest of the way I spent concentrating on staying alive while getting to the island. Oh, bitch, please. Those don't look like fragile girls. Slavia and Lena discussing something, but I wasn't listening. That was too much for me. At last, we arrived. One of those hosts could have helped. Completely exhausted, I got on the shore and looked at the boathouse. It seemed so far away that I felt like the first person on the moon watching the Earth rise. Here you go. Slavia handed me a basket. It was a small island, barely 100 meters long, and it looked more like a birch grove, even more rows of trees covering its flat surface. A calm green sea spread beneath our feet, with wind causing lonely waves on its surface from time to time. Oh, how delightful. It didn't look like a lost paradise. It's no wonder that the most delicious strawberries grow just here. We've got to split up. That way we'll get to do the job faster. Yeah, sure. But there are only 2 baskets, Linda said humbly. Oh, you're right, my bad. So how are we going to split up then? Ah, fuck. Let's go with Lena. Fuck you, Slavia. You seem weird. Let me go with you. Let's go. Okay, that's fine. Slavia grabbed the second basket and ventured to the opposite side of the island. Well, let's go? Yeah, Linda smiled. Just pay attention, don't leave a single berry behind. You too. So, it was harvest time. Indeed, the strawberries here were delicious. I could probably eat them all if I didn't stop myself in time. Despite being wild grown, the berries were close to garden ones in size, and a rich red color, so it was clear that our visit here wasn't in vain. Lena followed me closely, as we had only one basket for the both of us. I felt like a real mushroom picker, examining each shrimp and carefully pawing the grass. Well, you're doing much better than me. Am I? Frankly, I'm not even counting them. Yeah, right you are. The basket is already half full. You must enjoy nature, right? I do. Bright sun rays pierced the treetops and blinded me for a second. I sat down on the ground and leaned against a tree. Still, it's so beautiful here. Lena sat down next to me. So close that our elbows touched. Yeah, we just sat and enjoyed the moment. It seemed like time stood still. The wind gently shook the tree leaves. Some bugs lazily hopped around the grass, and splashes of sun played on the faraway water surface. Lena put her head on my shoulder. I was surprised at first, but then heard her regular breathing. I thought it was just a matter of course. Probably she felt drowsy and wanted to take a quick nap. I just sat there and didn't think anything of it for a few minutes. But then words started crossing my mind with ultrasonic speed. Lena, so close, sleeping, so warm, so gentle. Feelings. I gazed at her. She had such a serene, such a tranquil look on her face that it seemed that right now she's not here, but in some kind of better world. I don't know what it should have happened the next moment, but I didn't hear the voice of Slavia. Simone, Lena! I shook my head from side to side a few times to come to my senses. Lena started to wake up. She opened her eyes and gave me an empty look. Have a nice dream? Huh? Suddenly realizing that she had dozed off, laying on my shoulders, Lena blushed. Oh, I'm sorry. It's fine. Slavia came close, so Lena rushed to get up. So how much have you got? I sighed. That's not a lot. Her basket was filled with strawberries to the brim. Well, it's enough anyway. It's time to get back. I grabbed the basket and we headed back to the boat. The way back took less time as I tried to concentrate on rowing, ignoring everything else. My only wish was to get back alive, as the first trip hadn't gone without consequences, and now my hands started to hurt only after a few flips of the oars. Having tied the boat, I fell to the ground with no energy left. Slavian leaned over me. You could have said something if it was so hard for you. Yes. Never mind, it's fine. I'm just gonna die here. I'm just gonna lie here for a bit and everything will be alright. Okay then, get those baskets all good, please. We have something else to do. Yeah, sure. I was ready to agree with anything at the moment, just so I wouldn't have to get up. Slavi put the baskets full of strawberries next to me, headed up to the square, happily chatting with Lena about something. The hardest part is done anyway. That's what I thought before I got up and took the baskets. After the rowing, they felt like cement bags, even while weighing barely more than a few kilograms each. So the trip to the camp leader's cabin took much longer than usual. I had to stop every 15 meters to have a rest. Once I finally made it, I put the baskets on the ground and sat on the deck bench with difficulty. Olga! Olga! Got presents for you! There was no answer. I barely managed to get up and enter the cabin. There was nobody there. Son of a bitch, if you don't need them, it's up to you. I laid down on the deck chair and fell asleep. This is a weird dream about strawberries. I was running above my last ounce of strength, trying to escape huge bears that were chasing me. My hands were failing me, and I could barely see anything because of the sweat covering my face. Blood was hammering my temple, but the strawberries were getting closer. They were baring their teeth at me. But wait, strawberries with teeth? Simeon! I woke up. Olga was standing beside me, shaking my shoulder. I see you got a rich harvest, didn't you? Yeah, thanks to the girls. Okay, but that's not all. Seriously, I just been spending a lovely rest I was about to have. Do you even know what those strawberries are for? Not a clue. The honest confession. Well, we'll make a cake out of them. I see. Well, that makes sense. To honor the miraculous rescue of Shurik. And it's all thanks to you. It's clear that getting my strawberries wasn't the last thing left to do. And why, please tell me, if I'm such a hero, why do I have to organize a celebration in my name all by myself? Well, I guess. So, I have an important task for you. We are missing yeast, flour, and sugar, and need all the canteen before dinner. And those who will make the cake can't deal with it on their own somehow? I asked pitifully. Of course they can't. All of them are busy. And you're the only one in the whole camp who does nothing. All those words are partly true, but that doesn't make it any easier for me now. Moreover, those words felt like a bullet to my head. So, write it down. You'll get the yeast in the infirmary, flour in the library, and sugar in the clubhouse. Wait, I have no time. I'm in a hurry. Good luck. She smiled slyly and left. Of course, there's a lot of strange things in this camp, but yeast in the infirmary? Okay, I can deal with that, but flour in the library? And sugar? No. It's the other way. It was beyond my comprehension. I spat on the floor. I don't even want to, and I don't believe this. Just tell me you're pulling my leg. I would not be surprised if a crowd of fat green trolls appear here right now beside me, with every one of them feeling obligated to laugh at me. So maybe to hell with this cake. I weighed my options for some time. No, if it's such a major plan for Ogla's fell through, I'd be in for a world of hurt. And it'd complicate both my life in the camp and my search for answers, which I've stopped for quite a while. It seems I have no choice. Okay, where are we? Fuck, I don't know. I guess we're, that's the, I don't even know where I am. I guess I'll go to the library first. The other place on the cakes and greens list made at least some sense to me. Then the flour from the library made none. I thought hard about what would put the library and why, but couldn't find any explanation at all. Given Zinnia's harsh nature, I'd better knock first. Open. Zinnia peered at me closely from behind her glasses. What do you want? Don't think there's anything weird, but I don't look at the idiot and decided to explain things carefully. I need some flour. Olga said that it's here. I understand that it sounds strange to keep flour in a library, but I was sent to you, and it's needed for a cake to celebrate Shirik's rescue. Yes, I have flour. What's so strange about that? Zinnia replied with surprise. At a second thought, I felt like I've been hit with the head with a heavy weight and lost the ability to understand anything at all. Flour in the library. Sure, what's so strange about it? We're in Wonderland. I'm Alice, and now I'm gonna eat the magic mushroom, and I'll be back home. Hey. Yeah? I was daydreaming. Wait here, I'll be right back. She disappeared behind the bookshelves while I folded my hands and started waiting. A moment later, the sound of trapdoor groaning on its hinges reached me. Hey, need some help? I inquired loudly. I'll deal with it. Zinnia barked out to me. She seems to be in the basement, so I'll have to wait a little. Okie dokie. 3 minutes later passed, but Zinnia still hadn't returned. I was starting to get worried when the door was suddenly flung open and Alyssa came into the library. She looked surprised too, seeing me here. What are you doing here? Am I not allowed here? I said rudely to her. Alyssa was clearly a bit overwhelmed. What do I care? She snorted and headed to Zinnia's table. And why are you here then? Alyssa measured me up with her eyes carefully and almost opened her mouth to say something. Alyssa seemed to change her mind, turned away, hiding her hands behind her back. Returning a book? I blurted the first thing out of my head. It's none of your business. She replied with a hint of hesitation. What book is it? Alyssa was silent. Oh, come on, let me see it. I wonder what Miss High Voltage Keep Away reads. It's none of your business. Her voice was even less confident. Okay. I don't insist or anything. In fact, I was quite interested to find out what Alyssa was reading. Moreover, I was quite amused to see the book in her hands. TV, movies, or computer, if one were available here, all these things seemed to be much more appropriate entertainment for a girl like her. But she had a book instead. Curiosity killed a cat. Anyway, it's Alyssa, and that means it could quickly turn out to be a total mess, plus I still have ingredients to collect. Well, I'll come later. Alyssa left the library quickly without looking at me. It got me thinking, what could this book be about if she was so ashamed of it? And ashamed Alyssa is something extraordinary in by itself, but Alyssa ashamed about a book. But that's the point of guessing now. There's no way to find anything out. Finally, Zinnia's deep groan rang out, reaching each and every corner of the library. Grab it! I passed a book by the bookshelf and beheld the perspiring librarian sitting next to the trapdoor, leading into the basement with a small sack next to her. Well, they might have some sort of storehouse down there. Thanks. I took the sack and left the library. Thank goodness it wasn't too heavy, so I carried it down to Olga's cabin without too much effort. Okay, now we're going to the infirmary. I feel like I visited the infirmary too often recently. But what can I do? That's how things pan out. I decided and knocked on the door. Come in, the nurse said with a trace of sing-song accent. Good afternoon. Olga sent me here to get some, I said excitedly. Yeast? Ah, sure. She gave me a broad smile. It's just that I don't have any. Pioneer. How so? She said that, well, I had some, but now there's none left. I didn't even bother why asking why she had it in the first place. Well, don't worry. You can have some aspirin, for example. That could be some use to me, actually. Where do I get it, then? I sighed. Take this. She opened the drawer and pulled out some kind of bottle. Osten Skol was a well-known brand of cheap beer in the USSR. I took a closer look. It was beer. What's the matter? Beer is also a fermented product. She gave me a deep gaze. Nobody will even notice. She had a point, but something just looked so grotesque to me that I couldn't find anything to say. Are you sure? Absolutely. Okay then. The bottle clearly wouldn't fit in the pocket of my shorts. Well, thanks. I mumbled shyly, leaving the infirmary. Well, beer certainly could replace yeast, I guess. Even my limited knowledge of chemistry and biology was enough to accept this. But generally walking around with this bottle in my hand looked like a silly idea to me. So I decided to bring it to Olga's cabin and hide it there. But I had to reach it somehow without anybody noticing the beer. I hid the bottle under my shirt. And if everything would be fine, so Slavia called out to me in the square. Actually, she sprang out from behind me so suddenly that I gave a start. How's it going? What, exactly? You're searching for ingredients. Ah, so you know already. Yes, I do. Slavia smiled. It's going alright, I answered, trying not to give away my unrest. And what exactly do you have there? She pointed at the bottle sticking out from under my shirt. This? She got me. It's nothing. She blushed with a silly giggle. It's time to go. I was almost running leaving the square with a puzzled Slavia behind. It's great that she's one of those people that didn't ask unnecessary questions. There are people in this camp who like nothing better than poke their noses at other people's business. Passing the pioneer's cabin, I stumbled upon Yulana. What are you hiding there? She gave me one of her cheeky looks. I thought there was no point in denying it, so I replied with a provocative matter. It's none of your business. I'm a cipher officer bearing a message to headquarters. That's certainly a big message. I was carrying the bottle at the waist height, so I was slightly embarrassed. You want some help? I'll deal with it on my own. I walked past her confidently and proceeded on my way. To my surprise, she didn't say anything, nor try to pursue me. There was nobody in Olga's camp, so I successfully managed to stuff the bottle under my bed. Once I got outside, I sighed with relief. Really, I couldn't believe that I would ever worry about that much about a single bottle of beer. Like I was back in high school. It's a good thing it's safe now. Even if somebody finds it, I'll claim it's not mine. I can always think of a suitable excuse for my enormous experience. Alright, clubhouse. It feels like I've gone through more things today than all the previous days combined. Thus, approaching the clubhouse, I'd even forgotten to think about how awkward it must look for sugar there. Shurick and Electronic were enthusiastically building something. Okay, what is that? They were so busy they didn't even notice me. I looked closely. It's some kind of robot. Or at least, the body of one. Moreover, the robot was female. It had animal ears. Why does it have breasts? I don't even want to make up theories about purpose of such a device for the luminaries of camp cybernetics. Like, I don't even want to know. Even though the design looked practically workable, I had my doubts about this robot ever being able to conquer Earth, or at least being able to do anything on its own. But they seemed to be enjoying the process more than the end result itself. And that was something we shared, even though I didn't want to admit it. On the other hand, they weren't afraid of possible failure, criticism, or jokes. they were working towards their goal without paying attention to others, he would call it unrealistic or even absurd. It looks like I'm truly comparing them to luminaries of science. Hey guys, I greeted them uncertainly. Oh, hi Simone, come in. We're always glad to see you. I was actually already inside. You know, sorry for what happened yesterday. I barely remember anything, but, well, never mind, it's okay. And what brings you to our humble abode? Electronic looked at me slyly. I feel like he's making such a face when he knows something about the other person, something he can use in the right moment. Sugar. I need sugar. An image from an ancient video game suddenly came to my mind, where some kind of unit, like a builder or something, cried out when all the 5-pixel statues, "Gold! We need more gold!" "We got it," said Electronic calmly. "Why would you want it?" I felt like I shouldn't explain to Shurik that they wanted to bake a cake for him. I shouldn't spoil the surprise. I don't know. Olga told me to come get some. Okay, hang on. Electronic disappeared behind the door in the next room. And why do you have sugar here? Why not in the canteen? When the food truck came last time, it was the last thing to unload. And given that our building is the closest one to the entrance, they decided to leave it here to save some effort. That's reasonable, isn't it? The door opened, revealing Electronic hauling a huge bag behind him. I don't know what the size of the cake will be, but that is obviously too much sugar. Well, thanks. I don't need it all. But where will we put it? Electronic gave me a surprised look. We don't have a place for it. You asked for sugar, so take it. It seemed like the previous smile wasn't there without reason. Maybe you'll help me then. It's not that far to carry. We're busy. He pointed his hand to the robot. I gazed at Shurik. He owed me, after all. He hesitated, then looked away in shame. I sighed and took the bag and headed to the door. Thanks anyway, you bastards, said parting, exerting myself. But I didn't make it too far. Just after 20 minutes, I had to put the bag down to have a rest. I had no idea how much it weighed, but it felt like more than 20 kilos. On one hand, it was just 200 meters to the canteen. On the other hand, even such a distance with this payload on my shoulder, alternating my hands, or on my legs, or under my arm, or even on my head, looked impossible to me to cover. And I am as resigned myself to move in minor sprints with prolonged pauses between them, so I could get there by night at least. I heard a voice behind me. Maybe I could help you? I saw Linda in front of me. I don't think you can. It was one of those moments when I felt painfully how dramatically I was out of shape. I could bring a handcart. A handcart. Why didn't I think of that myself? Son of a bitch! Yes, that'd be great. Wait here, I'll be right back. She smiled and ran into the direction of the square. What would I do without her? It's good that Linda isn't always that shy and can take the initiative sometimes. I started to think. She seems quite unusual now, with no trace of shyness on her face, and actually the complete opposite, smiles and confidence. The offer to help wasn't something extraordinary by itself, but getting it from Lena. A few minutes later, she came back with a smallish handcart. I put the bag down on it. Thanks. Don't mention it. She blushed and looked down. Oh, the Linda we all know is back. I better save right now. So I'll save. Save game. I'm gonna end it right here, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye-bye!